Hi, welcome. Today we're talking about how to survive the first few weeks of clean eating. My name is Lee from Balancing Act Health Coaching, and welcome to today's Lunch and Learn. So today I'm going to be sharing with you some survival tips on your journey to clean eating. But if you are watching on the replay, then let me know in the comments below with a hashtag replay. And if you are watching live, then let me know where you are watching from, what city you're watching from. It's so great to have you here, and welcome. So today's topic, it's all about surviving the first few weeks of clean eating. I'm going to be sharing a resource with you at the end of my Lunch and Learn. If you can't stay to the end, then it is my 4-day belly flattening meal plan, and it is designed to help flatten your belly and improve your energy levels through clean eating. All the recipes are clean eating recipes, and you can grab it over at www.balancingactimu.com/freebies. So I'll pop that link in the comments at the end of this Lunch and Learn. Do come back. Let's get into how to survive the first few weeks of your clean eating. So if you have made the decision that you are going to start with clean eating, then that is great and congratulations. Before you get too overwhelmed with the changes, here's a guide and some tips on what you can do during the first few weeks of your clean eating. So a good place to start with clean eating is to learn some simple rules and basic rules that are involved for this lifestyle. And it is a lifestyle that you would be following here. It's not a diet. So in general, you're going to be focusing on healthy, whole, and fresh foods. So instead of counting calories or cutting your carbs, you're simply going to be trying to cook more using fresh ingredients and avoiding highly processed foods. And this means grating your own cheese, no longer using canned fruits or vegetables, and eating eggs and dairy and meat that is pasture raised, free range or grass fed animals. With the clean eating lifestyle, you should be cooking most of your meals on your own and reducing the amount of saturated and trans fats that you eat each day. And you also want to reduce the amount of caffeine and alcohol as much as you can. So I know that's quite tough for moms who live for 5 o'clock or 1 o'clock, but it will do you so much good to cut back on that. Then another rule or tip is to say no to processed or packaged foods. So processed and packaged foods are really a huge no-no on the clean eating lifestyle diet. You want to use as many natural and fresh ingredients as possible. So if it comes in a package, then consider whether there is a more natural version of this ingredient. For example, grated cheese. It comes actually as a block of cheese that you can grate yourself. And then you also need to consider whether the dairy was grass-fed from a grass-fed cow. Another example is chopped onions. You can actually buy a whole onion and chop it yourself. So let me know in the comments if you are choosing done-for-you packaged foods. Now, the next rule is to make more meals at home. So as you can see, cooking really is quite a major component of eating clean, and it would be very difficult to do this if you weren't cooking most of your meals on a regular basis. You don't have to be a natural chef. In fact, you really don't even have to be a wizard in the kitchen. You just actually need to be able to follow a simple recipe. Tell me in the comments below how many times a week you are cooking. if you don't have a lot of time to prep foods, then invest in some appliances that help the process to go faster. So a food processor to chop and dice your vegetables, or a slow cooker so that you can cook your meals during the day while you're out at work, or the other one that I was thinking of, which has now just slipped my mind, a pressure cooker. Yeah, those are magic. I love my pressure cooker for making soups. So let me know in the comments how often you are cooking each week. Then what you're going to want to do is stock up on your basics and start with your fresh produce. So a big change in clean eating is that you're going to be eating more fresh and frozen vegetables and fruit. A good portion of your meals and snacks should be fruits and vegetables. And if you're currently eating a lot of fruit, then you're going to want to change that up a bit and start eating more vegetables. Having a good amount of both fruit and veg during the day is going to help you stay full. It's going to pack in a lot of nutrients, which is what your body is desperate for, and it's going to add variety into your diet so that you don't get bored. Frozen produce is perfectly fine to use, and even some canned vegetables are fine. Just make sure when you check the ingredients that it has no added sugar or salt or many preservatives, and then it is fine for clean eating. The next thing that you're going to want to do is add whole grains into your diet, or complex carbohydrates. You see, the clean eating lifestyle is not a low carb way of eating. So if you're coming off a diet that is low carb or keto, then you might not be used to eating the complex carbs, but that's okay. Just reintroduce them slowly into your meal. So while the clean eating lifestyle is reduced in the amount of carbs that you eat, you're not going to be eating white rice and processed breads and biscuits and crackers and that sort of thing. You are still eating complex carbohydrates, which release sugar slowly into your bloodstream. All your meals should have some form of complex carb along with protein and healthy fats and lots of non-starchy vegetables. The whole grains that you can try and start incorporating are brown rice and quinoa, and another one is actually buckwheat. So have you eaten quinoa? Do you use that on a regular basis? Let me know in the comments if you've ever eaten quinoa, or if it's something that you eat regularly. You might know it as quinoa, but it's actually pronounced quinoa. So filling up on the whole grains increases your nutrients capacity, and it helps to keep your energy levels up throughout the day. Then be prepared for last minute changes that could happen in your life. A life never just follows a simple road from A to B. There's always a wiggle and a squiggle in it. So to survive the clean eating as much as possible, you need to make sure that you are prepared. And the best way to do this is to have snacks on hand. So this means having prepared little containers or bags with your chopped up vegetables, or a handy piece of fruit, nuts and seeds, all packaged so that if anything happens, you have got something that is going to keep your energy levels up, your blood sugar stable, and you're not going to be craving sugary foods. Now, here's some things that you don't want to do. And these are common mistakes that people tend to make when they start living a clean eating lifestyle. So the one thing is to avoid buying packaged foods, and this really is the simplest way to get started with clean eating. So this means skipping all the bags of chips and savory biscuits, sweet biscuits, the processed carbs like white rice and pasta. And if you think about those are in packaging. So you don't want to really be buying anything that is out of a package. Then another thing is people skimp on calories and on fat. And of course, while you want to avoid excessive amounts of fat in the form of margarine and red meat, there are still other fats that are healthy, and fat keeps you full, and it helps to you to reach a satisfied point faster than if you avoid it completely. So be sure to have your nuts and your seeds, because those are a great source of healthy fats, as well as coconut oil and olive oil and walnut oil. Now, that is how to survive the first few weeks of your new clean eating lifestyle. And my top tip for your success is to choose one action and then follow through on that for a week, and then add another action on top of that. So, for example, this week you could aim to eat 5 portions of vegetables each day. Then next week you could add in a further portion of vegetables and stop buying the pre-chopped prepared vegetables from the shops. Does that make sense? So if it does, leave a thumbs up in the comments below. I just want to recap these ideas are for clean eating, of the do's and the don'ts and how to survive. So the first thing is to say no to your packaged and processed foods. Then you are going to stock up on the basics of lots of fruits and vegetables through so that you can have those throughout the week. You're going to make more meals at home. And let me know how often you are cooking meals. Then you're going to include complex carbs and whole grains like quinoa and buckwheat and wild rice. You're going to make sure that you don't get caught short, so you're going to have snacks on hand in your handbag. And then, you're not going to be skimping on your calories and avoiding fat altogether. Those are absolutely vital. Essential fats are vital for your good health. So that's how to survive the first few weeks of your clean eating. I hope that you found that helpful. If you would like to try out a 4-day meal plan that is based on clean eating, then pop over to www.balancingact. I've lost it. Let me try again. It's www.balancingact-imu.com/freebies and grab your copy of my 4-day meal plan for flattening bellies and clean eating. Thanks for stopping by for today's Lunch and Learn. My name is Lee from Balancing Act Health Coaching, and I will see you again soon.